Hi guys, Ape here of the PocketBot Collective. And today we'll have a look at another Magnus. Maurizio recently reviewed the McFans Toys Magnus, Ultra Magnus. This is what the McFans Toys one is based off of, or knocked off of. It's the MagicSquare Magnus. But before we get into it, let's see what he comes with. This guy has a few accessories, a box, and a sheet of instructions. Let's get that out of the way first. Here we go. Shows you everything. Also shows you that the gun has storage in there, in trailer mode, and that you can store the rockets as well, which I'll show you in a minute. The box is a very simple box. Let me just lift this up for a minute. There we go. Just a drawing of Magnus on the front, and the alien, of course, the alien kid. I quite like the back. I like the simplicity of these boxes as well. But yeah. There we go. That is it. Back to Magnus. He, of course, comes with his gun. It's just white plastic with a bit of black paint on it, and you can flip out the handle so he can hold it. There you go. And this is the tab you use to tab him in there. I'll go into that in a minute. Then there's two of these missiles, nicely sculpted with some red paint on there. Also has a little tab and has a little slot there. There's two ways you can install that on the truck, which I'll also show you in a minute. And then he comes with this little matrix of leadership, nicely painted. The chain doesn't come with it. Mine is purely on that chain because I don't really use it with Magnus, because you cannot actually store this in Magnus. I'll get into that later. That's one of the differences between the McFans Toys one and the MagicSquare one. But I just use this to put it on my Galvatron, my DX9 Galvatron. There's a review up on him as well, so he can hang on to that. Yeah. Let's get that out of the way. The weapon storage, let me first get the gun in place, because you can see in the top here, there's two little tabs there. If I just untab one of these arms here to give us some clearance, and then you can just, just slot it in there. There we go. And then slot the other one in there and just tab this piece into the back here. There we go. Weapon stored. Then these little rockets. Well, there's more holes, but there's a hole on that side and that side. So what you can do is just tab in the little rocket. There you go. Or what you can do is tab them in up here, like that. Of course, now I have them in two different positions, but you can either put them both up there, or you can put them on the sides, where I would put them once in when in vehicle mode, but that's entirely up to you. There we go. Now, as far as articulation in this mode, there's not a lot. The little truck is on a swivel. Sorry, put them out there. So you can swivel side to side. If you move the cab a bit, you can get a little bit more articulation, but there you go. The wheels obviously roll, but the back here, that doesn't come down. You can see there, it's permanently fixed, which is one of the differences with the McFans Toys one. Other than that, it is a cool looking truck. I like that it has the chrome on it, whereas the McFans Toys knockoff in this colorway has the red there. I don't really like the red there. I like that the bumper is chrome. Nicely sculpted details on there. Not much more you can say about it. There's not really enough room to store a car in there because this is a fairly small Magnus. Just to show you, here is the McFans Toys version, although I have the Diaclone colorway, the Delta Magnus way, which I'll review shortly as well. But here you can see the difference between these two companies. McFans Toys upscaled this guy. Other than that, the transformation is exactly the same. Let me just put this here so you can see how much bigger he is. It's not that much, but it's just enough, so to say. And McFans Toys altered this. In their version, you can put the ramp down. Other than that, it's pretty much the same bot. Same transformation. They just unlocked this feature, and in robot mode the McFans Toys version can open his chest to store a matrix, whereas the MagicSquare version cannot, which is a bit weird because the MagicSquare version came out first and also has a matrix. But there we go. Since we're on the truck mode anyways, let's also do some comparisons to some other trucks. This is MagicSquare's Hover, which scales okay, but I guess he scales that a little bit better with that one. But there we go. Let me leave him in this position. Here he is with Core Class Prime and with MagicSquare's recent Motormaster. So yeah, in comparison, the truck mode is pretty small, pretty tiny. But it's well done. I like it. But I mainly use them in robot mode anyways. So, let's get all these guys out of the way. And let's get to transformation. Transformation is easy. We just take off these bits first. We'll untab the arms at the back here already. See, it's just a little tab there. You can see his hand hiding in there. And there's a little slot on the inside there. So we'll get these untabbed first. That way we can also split the gun out. Put it to the side. And for now I'll just swivel it to the outside and up, so it's out of the way. There we go. Now, we also untab these side panels, which were just tabbed in there. They fold up on themselves, and then there's another tab there. So we just straighten it out. Same for the other side. Fold it down. Fold it out. There we go. Then we push down the hip skirts. There we go. Split the legs. There's two tabs there. Swivel this piece inside. Fold down the leg, lower leg, and tab it in there. And then just tab this in here. There we go. Same for the other side. Rotate round. Tab this piece. Tap this piece. Almost done. His wheels are still sticking out the bottom, so he can skate now. All you need to do is, it's on a little ball joint there. Pull it down, turn it around, push it up, and now it's nice and flush. Same for the other side. Down, rotate, up. You can see that he has a crazy ankle rocker already. Knee. Hasn't got a cut, but well, I guess the cut is up there, where you can go there. Can go forward all the way, can go backwards all the way, and can go out to about there. Unless you turn the leg around, then you can go there. But there we go. There's an ab crunch hinge in here. Also on a ball on a mushroom peg, so he has a swivel, but more on that in a minute. Let's first get the stop transformed. What you want to do is we will hinge this cab section down. Then you put these little smokestacks in first. Sorry, there we go. And then push this flap in as well. And then position it just right so the head can rotate through. There we go. Hinge these wheels in. Slide it down. And lock the cab. There we go. You can already see there's some light piping in the back of his head. Head is on a hinge and a peg. So you can have him look up, a little bit down, and he can rotate full 360. Arms. There's a peg sticking on the inside here. We want to rotate that around, so it's on the other side. And then it can slot right there. Can you see it? There's a hole here. There. See? That's where it clips into. Same on the other side. Flip it through. Clip it in there. Now we move the arms up. What you want to do, push this bit out a little bit. Here as well. So we can hinge this entire section down. And then you can lock it with these pieces. Same for the other side. Down and lock it. And then just slide these pieces back to reveal his hands. There we go. Has a cut just below the blue parts. Has a hinged elbow that goes up to there. And has wrist rotation, but it's a little bit limited because the blue section sticks forward a little bit. But there you go. Arm is on a hinge and a rotational joint. There we go. And that is Mini Magnus. Reason I'm reviewing him now is because, of course, MagicSquare announced recently that their new version of the Magnus armor is coming out, which you would need a white prime for to interact with. The armor itself doesn't do anything. This, although, on the other hand, is a complete Magnus. There we go. Of course, now we can give him his blaster. He holds that just fine. And put the missiles on his shoulders. There we go. And there we go. And there we have Magnus. Let me put his head up a little bit. There we go, so we can actually see him. Nice head sculpt. Nice paint on there. A little bit of light piping, but I don't think I can get it to work here in this position. But yeah, it works with a brighter light source behind it. Like I said, there's no way you can open his chest. These hinges up here are purely for the shoulders and everything. There's no other hinges in there. So yeah, he can't do much with that matrix. He can hold it, of course, in his hands, but that's about as much as you get from him. Now, let's do some comparisons in robot mode, shall we? First off, with our standard Iron Factory figure. This is, of course, Runabout, which Magnus is taller as, and that is also what you would expect, of course. Oh, sorry. There we go. And then with his truck buddies, here is MagicSquare's Huffer. Here is Core Class Prime. Let me just bring Huffer a little bit forward. And here is MagicSquare's Motor Master. There you go for scale. I like this scale. I think it works with these bots as well, but it depends what bots you put them with. Whether you want the larger version or not. It is a mold that is used a lot though, because of course MagicSquare is the original one. MacFans Toys did the knockoff. The Papa Toys one is even bigger than that, and I think almost uses the same system as well. And then there's a version in between the MacFans Toys and the Papa Toys version, which is made by Cost Performance, I think, which is also exactly the same mold again. Just to show you a little bit more about how he differs with the first knockoff that was done. There he is with, I think I should put the camera a little bit higher. There we go. That is the MacFans Toys version again. You can see he stands a bit taller, but other than that has exactly the same articulation and everything, except for the fact that his chest is actually comprised of several pieces. I think I need a tool to just get these doors open. There we go. And the other side. And you can see a little matrix in there. So yes, that's what Mechanic Studios improved on him. In truck mode, it's the ramp that comes down. In robot mode, it's the chest that opens up, so you can actually keep the matrix in there. A feature the MagicSquare version just doesn't have. But there you go. That is it for MagicSquare Magnus, and I guess his bigger brother Delta Magnus on the side here will get its own review in a bit. There we go. I hope this helps you guys decide on which Magnus you want. Of course, there's also the Iron Factory Magnus out there, more IDW styled, and also taller than these guys. There's options out there. Let me put it that way. But this is a fun guy and it's a good mold anyways. So just decide which height you want him to be. And then there's like 4 different companies that you can get this exact same mold from. Alright. Thank you guys for watching. And I will see you next time. Ape out!